Brian Deegan, you know, it's funny, walk around the Coliseum. They had your old bike on display here, the photo. You've seen success here, but now you've seen, your kid has a little more success in this place than you do.
Yeah. Well, you got to think back the history of this place. You know, I was able to win my first Supercross here back in '97, a long time ago, right?
Yep.
And ghost rode my bike over the finish because I kind of knew, I was like, this probably ain't going to happen again, so we got to make it pretty cool. And we ghost rode the bike. Epic moment. And then I was able to come back years later and do the first 360 on a dirt bike here. And then a few years later, was able to win Rally Gold right here.
That's right. Yeah, the rally was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yes, this is probably the most iconic place for the Deegans in the world, I would say, is this Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
And for Hayden, imagine the odds. If you're a betting man, what are the odds of a rider to win his first Supercross the same place his dad won his first Supercross? What are the odds? Literally. I bet it will never happen again, dude. It could. You know, let's just say maybe Villapoto's kid will go up and win champion. You know, but he's got to win at the same place he won his first. I'm just saying the odds are. If you think about it,
it's just so cool.
It's very rare. You know, and I don't know. I'd trip out on stuff like that. But to say it wasn't a goal, like, yeah, once Hayden started getting in the fight, was able to run up front. I'm like, okay, we got to bring the fight, dude. And he did. You know, he's young. He's making a lot of mistakes and still learning a lot. But yeah, I think he showed heart. You know.
What'd you tell him after the first moto?
Yeah, good question, man. First moto, I was pissed. You know, because I know how hard he's worked, and that wasn't really him. I was like his style to fade like that, and so I went in the rig, and I'm like, I had to think of what I would want to hear as a competitor, you know. And I walk in, I go, bro, it's not over. Do not give up, dude. Don't give up. It's not over. Like, let's think about this, okay? How is your bike? Yeah, it's okay. Let's soften it up a little. Track slick. Let's get it to grip. And, like, there's a few little changes we can do. And I go, stick to the game plan, dude. I go, he got arm pump, you know. He's like, he was trying hard. So I'm sure he had a ton of nerves, dude. Like, there's a lot of pressure. I get it. So I said, calm down. You got nothing to lose, dude. You're the young guy. Like, you're not expected to be the champion, dude. You got nothing to lose. Just go out there and leave it all on the track. I go, you want respect? Go get it. Go get it. And he's like, all right. So I got to tell Elias to take some deep breaths, dude, and freaking give it everything you got. And then when they took off, it was perfect. Yamaha 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Shimoda was right there, and he knew he just had to beat Shimoda, finish ahead of him. And it was playing out perfectly, and I was nervous as hell for 20 minutes, dude. Because I figured Shimoda was going to drop the hammer and start coming, but the Yamahas had a good pace. They just set a good pace, and Shimoda's no joke. The dude's fast, and I thought he was going to come up and make it real interesting, but fortunately the Yamahas were able to set a high pace and hold it. And it was just another day at the farm, dude. That's kind of what it was.
That's what I mentioned. Hey, and I'm like, it just had to feel comfortable. Teammate front and back, just feel like another day of doing motos.
Yeah.
I would argue his second moto ride was one of the smartest I've seen of the year because, look, we both know your kid can send it when the conditions, when he needs to.
Yeah.
This is kind of a track you couldn't. I could see him getting notchy in the first one. I probably could tell the frustration. He was like, I want to send it here, and it would almost get worse. Where he rode very composed in the second moto. Again, one of the best races I've seen from him in that sense, very composed.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to catch the leader, but I think when he tried, like you said, he kept slipping, making mistakes, and then Cooper would come up on him. And fortunately, Cooper would be the best guy for him to be behind him because he's clean. He's not going to clean you out. He knows how to help to win a championship. He knows how to win. He's just the guy you want behind you, right?
He literally told me his post-race review. He's like, man, I'm not in the Hayden situation. He just meant all day. He's like, you have to be aggressive pass. He's like, I'm just not like that.
And
He's just mellow good.
Yeah, and in the end, it played out perfectly there. But Hayden had to execute. He had to do 20 minutes clean. He had a few mistakes. He almost washed the front end in the mechanics area. He went in there hard and like almost tucked it. And then he almost did a 360, like spun out in the turn before the finish. And I'm like, no. And I remember I was on live TV and I go, fuck. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm like the dead mini dad right now going nuts. I'm like, I don't even care, dude. You know, whatever. It's emotion. And that's why we do it. If we didn't have emotion, we wouldn't be here, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't emotional. And to us, the money's great, for sure. It's always good. But it's about the emotion and the time with the family and these experiences. It is. It just is, you know? So.
Man, what's it like for you to look back? I've seen you guys for years down in SoCal, putting in the time, watching you build program, literally like KTM stuff, building a program for your kid to go racing. I've seen you guys put your heart, your soul, your effort into it, like a lot of families do. But I mean, I've talked to a few people about this. Like, your kid's been on the radar forever because of the YouTube channel, everything. Your kid's been good at amateur nationals, but up until probably about the last year, he wasn't always the guy. And I'm sure a lot of people question when you're someone pro, like, okay, we understand why he's getting the opportunity. We all did, but could he do it? And I mean, your kid could have performed under this, and it still would have been a successful first. It still would have been a badass first year. But again, a title, like, I think he's exceeded so many expectations. As a dad, I can't imagine how proud you are.
Oh, for sure. And everything crosses my mind. Rookie season. He is very. He's very, like, his mind. It works in a way that he loves to be challenged, and I think we were able to put him in an environment that really, really challenged him. I feel like amateur was to the point where it really wasn't challenging him much anymore. His last few years of amateur, and then threw him to the pros, and it could have went either way. It could have went south, and we could have been like, man, what did we do? He could have went out there and bombed it, got hurt, did something stupid, which a lot of rookies do, and he really, I don't know, rose to the occasion. And like I said, there's a rare breed of athletes that first hate losing more than they like winning. That's a rare breed. And then you have the guys that are very high level thinkers that want to be challenged. You can't give them boring. You have to give them a challenge. And I think that's his probably one of his strong points. As he rises to the occasion when it's a challenge. Is he perfect? No. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what makes it fun. We get to work on stuff. We always work. Like, we'll leave here with a list of notes. We leave here, I start taking notes, Hayden takes notes, we start sending them to the team, and we're like, what could we do better? What do we want to work on? Like, that's the fun part of it, dude. We enjoy that. We enjoy the challenge of it,
What for you, because you see him, of course, more than we only see him on the race weekends. We see how he performs. You see it during the week. Is there a specific point this year in your mind that stands out where you think things really clicked, where it went from, he's told me a few times after races, even though we say the rookie season thing a lot, that, he's like, I'm only here to win now. Is there a point of the year where it stands out in your mind that you saw that switch flip for you guys, where it's like, this isn't just learning, we're all in, like, we're here to race to win every weekend?
I'd almost think, like, after the first Supercross, Pro Supercross, where he came up through the pack and got fourth, I was like, oh, okay, he's in the fight. And then, but I'm like, is it real? Is this like, was it a lucky thing? And then, the next round he was there, whatever. It started snowballing. I think within the first few rounds of Supercross, I'm like, okay, here we go. But I was like, we're not going to win. I didn't think we were going to win. I just thought, okay, we're in the fight to run with the leaders. And then we went to outdoors, and I'm like, man, if he could just be top 5, it would be cool. I was like, that was a big deal. We'd watch Shimoda, we'd watch those guys and be like, man, if we just beat them one day, it would be really cool, Those dudes are fast. And then he came out that, at the first round, ended up getting second. We're like, okay. I was like, his fitness has just been his strong point, which is very weird because he trains hard, but he just always has had very good stamina, which is, when he first went to Star and did the fitness test where they cycle and they do your heart rate and see where you stack up, they're like, man, his cardio is off the charts. And I'm like, I don't know why. He trains normal. We do it normal. They just happen to have, some athletes just have it, have that good cardio. I
think Omar is just, some guys have just good engines, good hearts, good lungs.
Yeah, and we're fortunate on that one. So that definitely has helped. And like I said, at the end of the day, we're just, throughout this whole season's been building. Washougal was obviously the highlight of, like, we got to see Hayden at his best. And then we learned a lot with the bike too. Like, these bikes are really good, but as far as suspension setup, bike setup, we learned a lot about mid-season. I think right around Washougal is where we found the bike, how to get it right for Hayden, where he liked it, and that's when I think we started rolling. And we had some ups and downs the last part of the season. I would have liked to seen it go the other way, to make it a run all the way to the end, to make it interesting, because it's good for the sport, man. It makes people want to watch. Nothing cool about a runaway season, man. It's boring, right?
I think one interesting thing I noticed with your kid on the earlier races of the year is we see the moments. He's got an aggressive riding style, so people think, oh, he's aggressive, he's a sprinter, but his lap times are probably up and down. Most of the earlier part of Supercross, I would do the high-low averages on guys, and he would have a tighter average at some rounds than even like Hunter, for instance. He quite often didn't. His fastest lap time would be about a 6th place guy, but he was actually insanely consistent.
Insane, and we've obviously paid attention to that, and I like when people look behind the curtain, see the more critical stuff like that, and his consistency's been awesome. Right? You think of the guys like Dungey, like guys who are just crazy consistent. Yeah. It's such a good trait to have. Like the consistency is what wins championships. And at the end of the day, it just does. Yeah. So that has been his strong point. You know, I'd say his stamina and then his consistency. Now he's just gotta get the pace consistently, have the fast pace. Like I said, if you can win at 80, 90%, that's the goal. Right? Yeah. That's the goal. Because when you race at 100%, and I know everyone's like, you got to race at 100%. But when you race at 100% every race, shit happens, man. It just does. Like, that's when when bad things happen. Like, and I watch, like, Jet, he probably wins a lot of races at 90%. Mm-hmm. Good for him. That's freaking the way you want to do it, you know? Yeah. And it's exciting times in this sport, dude. Yeah. I think there's a lot of cool things that are coming down the pipe. I think the Super Motocross series did the right thing. They built it up to this climatic end with the points set up. They know what they're doing. Built the tracks easy so everyone's close. The racing's super tight. Yeah. I get it. Like they made it exciting. It was cool.
Last one. You guys have a lot of eyes on you. Yeah. It's been a very busy year. This is the longest racing schedule we've had before. How do you what do you guys do next couple weeks? You just like force Hayden to fully unplug, just get away, go sit on the river.
I'd
the lake?
say Mom's good with that. Mom's the one who forces the family vacations, you know. If it was up to me, we would be riding every day. And that's another thing. I want Hayden to love dirt bikes, you know. The last thing I want Hayden to do is can't wait to get done with his career to get off a dirt bike. That is not why we started this. Like, we did this because we love riding. I still load my dirt bike up and love to go ride when the dirt's good and the weather's nice, the overcast days. I love it. I want to share that. You know, I want my kids to always do that. But anyhow, so we're going on vacation. Mom booked a trip to the lake, Lake Powell. And we're going to go for a few days or a week or go on a houseboat and shut everything off and try it. I don't know. I'm sure we'll be over it in a day or two, but I'm ready to go back to the track. But we have to force ourselves to take a break. Yeah. We have to. Take a break and then go to Cali for a while, say what's up to everyone, and spend probably a week or two in Cali. And I don't know, man. I'd like to take all of October off, to be honest. Yeah. We need to. We have to. You got to let him recover. Hayden's young. He's got to mature. It's still like his body's still growing. Yeah. So we got to let that happen, you know. Yep. So there's still a lot on the horizon, man. It's exciting times for us.
Cool. Well, congrats. I hope you guys have fun at Lake Powell.
Thank you, man.
Haiden Deegan, congratulations on SMX Championship. First off, how exciting is that?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. It's definitely wild. First year to win a championship, and it just shows you how much hard work pays off.
Was there any concern after the first moto with the result not being what you expected? Were you a little bit worried?
Yeah, I don't really worry. I just rely on myself and a lot of the pressure to get to me, so I know I have confidence, and that's kind of how I work, you know. I get on that line, and everyone's stacking the odds against me, right, to win this thing. So it's like, let's do it. Let's get this thing done.
Of course, a lot was made out of. Everybody was asking you about the ghost ride and all that stuff. I'm sure that wasn't important in any way. You were really focused on the race. Did you get tired of hearing that at all?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know I won when I hit the finish. My pit board didn't say anything, so I'm sure if I'd have knew I won, maybe I would have ghost rode it after the finish. But we'll save it for a Supercross when I win a Supercross.
Yeah, no consideration of going back and trying.
No, I mean technically I didn't win the moto, so it wouldn't be as cool.
Yeah, but some good battles. The track really was slick. Did you make any major changes throughout the day from practice through the first moto to second moto?
Yeah, we went softer on my bike, dropped the rear to get some more traction, and before that second moto, and it helped a lot. First moto, struggling just a little, it was a little tight, bike was a little unstable, so we got it dialed for the second moto. But yeah, track was slick. It was it almost bit me a few times, but we hung on to her.
Yeah, jumping into that sand section, the way like a lot of you guys were jumping onto that berm in the middle, and that was sketchy.
Yeah, it was hard because that rut led you right to the berm, But again, it was nice because you could get a drive down the berm, which led you to have more speed down that sand section. And if you didn't land on that berm, it was a little slower. So even though the rut led you there, it was better.
What do you think about this SMX platform, the way they did it, 3 extra races, a little, different points? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a quick way to win $500,000. I mean, shoot, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, well, congratulations. I know you got to do
Thanks.
the press conference. Thanks for some time.
Thank you.